Welcome back to Traveling with Cressworth. On this episode from our 2019 trip to England, it's a tale of three castles in counties Kent and Warwickshire. We're starting at strategic Dover Castle and its tunnels used in conflicts throughout history, moving on to legendary Warwick Castle, and finally the gardens of Walmer Castle. Thank you for watching our Great Britain series. One quick thing, we've noticed that most of you haven't yet subscribed, and we'd love to have you on board as we make more travel content. Oh, and thank you for all your recent comments, and don't forget to ring the bell and turn on notifications.
Towering over the strait, the high hill on which Dover Castle sits is the key to England, with over 2,000 years of dramatic moments playing out above and below ground. The secret tunnels under Castle Hill acted as the nerve centre for Operation Dynamo, which oversaw the rescue of 338,226 Allied soldiers in the Dunkirk evacuation. Kevin and I are in the medieval tunnels, defences shored up after Hubert de Burgh, the defender of Dover, warded off enemies of the tyrannical King John during the Great Siege of 1216-1217. Next, a weather-beaten relic of Roman Britain, this pharos, or lighthouse from the 2nd century AD, was an ancient signpost for the fortified harbour and helped galleys make the sea crossing to the continent. Known by the faithful since before the Norman conquest, the royal patron to the Saxon Church of St. Mary in Castro may have been Godwin, Earl of Wessex and father to King Harold. Now, we're at Henry II's Great Tower, a palatial keep constructed on the orders of the first Plantagenet ruler. This great residence was, among other uses, a royal welcome wagon for high-born pilgrims on the road to Thomas Becket's tomb. Intended or not, it was Henry's words and knight's dispatch that led to the brutal murder of Becket, a former friend and the then Archbishop of Canterbury. Today, this small chapel offers a unique view into the mind of a repentant ruler. We're staying the night at Goss Hall, a Grade 2 listed manor house outside Sandwich, Kent. As always, we're grateful to my Uncle Mike and Donna for taking us to local castles and for their generosity with everyone's B&B stay.
The history of Warwick Castle was born in the flames of a brutal England, Anglo-Saxon kingdoms fighting Danish invaders. It was Ethelfleda, daughter of Alfred the Great and Lady of the Mercians, who first protected Warwick in 914 Anno Domini. We're on the mound on which the Norman first Earl of Warwick built a wooden Motte and Bailey castle in 1068. Timber gave way to stone, on which centuries of bloodshed, grim deeds and dark deaths would be chiseled. To know this place is to know its earls, from the Black Hound of Arden, Guy Beauchamp, 10th Earl of Warwick, who had Piers Gaveston, loathed advisor to the hated Edward II, tried in the Great Hall and dragged to his death, to Richard Neville, Warwick the Kingmaker, a man whose scheming as the 16th Earl saw both Edward IV and Henry VI elevated to kingship and deposed during the Wars of the Roses. Ghost stories? Yes, this castle has them. Sir Fulk Greville, the first Baron Brooke, took a month to die when stabbed in his old age by his manservant. The wound, packed with pig fat. Dynamic in youth, gruesome in death, the poet, philosopher, and favorite of Elizabeth I is said to haunt these halls. Lizzy and I are looking into the face of a dead man, the reviled Lord Protector of England, Oliver Cromwell, warts and all. His death mask hangs here at Warwick Castle, a parliamentarian stronghold sieged by royalist forces. Follow us. We're walking the Great Curtain Walls, the 7 towers fortified with spoils from the 100 Years' War. Built by the 11th Earl, Thomas Beauchamp, the Devil Warwick was feared throughout France. From the heights of Caesar's Tower, descend into one of the most feared dungeons in medieval Europe. A place where pain still hangs heavy in the very air. We have to remember those who wasted away, their last days spent in darkness. We're standing above an even deeper pit, the oubliette, in which men were thrown, left without food or water, named for the French word to forget. By the late 1700s, Warwick had transformed into a tremendous country residence under the Greville banner. Yet as the world neared the turn of the 20th century, the high society life and affairs of Daisy Greville, Countess of Warwick, brought scandal, seeing how she counted the then future King Edward VII among her lovers. Often inspired by Marie Antoinette, Daisy dressed as the doomed French queen for an over-the-top costume ball in 1895. Items acquired after the monarch's head rolled in Paris, including an elaborate wall clock, were among Daisy's treasures.
We're here today at Walmer Castle and we're going to explore the house and the gardens and what else are we going to do, Kevin?
Well, we're just about to set off along the woodland walk. It's a path through the forest here out in the gardens. One thing about the house though, not a big deal. No photography allowed inside, so we're going to show you as much as we possibly can outside. This is a cool place and you're going to love it. Alright, see ya! Constructed with haste when faced with invasion after Henry VIII's divorce heard around the world, Walmer Castle bristled with guns for an attack which never came, until the royalist siege a century later, that is. No soldiers greeted us when Lizzy and I arrived at this former artillery fort. Once a link in Henry's chain of coastal defences, its later ties are to maritime history as the official residence of the Lord Warden of the Cinque Ports. Now a ceremonial role, the legacy of commanding powerful ports has continued for over 900 years. He who defeated Napoleon, Arthur Wellesley, Duke of Wellington, was at ease at Walmer Castle, living here as Lord Warden until his final breath in a chair in his bedroom in 1852. You found us as we leave the Queen Mother's garden, a gift to the only woman to hold the position of Lord Warden on what was then her 95th birthday. Thank you for watching this episode of Traveling with Crushworth. To return to Colchester, click the link to the left. To follow us to where our Britain series began, click the link to the right. We'd love to hear about your adventures in England's medieval castles in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and don't hesitate to watch other videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.